as Bart's going to interview Trish Schwenkler. So we're going to turn the time over to Bart and Trish.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So glad you could join us on the call today.
Yeah, glad we could finally make it. We planned for this for a few months. Great to see all Australian friends here. Big congratulations to all the amazing rank advancements. Hi, Sep and Yeska. There they are, those amazing people. Fantastic. There's Kat. Hello, everyone. Great to see everybody.
Hi, Trish.
Hi, Trish.
Hi. So Bart, I have some slides here. I don't know if you just want to do an interview, or if you'd like me to just kind of go through my slides and then finish up with anything else, or what would you prefer?
Well, you know, if you've got some slides you'd like to share with us, let's do that. I've got a few questions, but we'd love for you to share. So I believe that from your end that you can just share your screen and
okay.
And obviously, what we'd like to do, just for those of you who don't know, gosh, Trish, we go back 23 years. We've known each other for a while. We've been we've been involved with this industry. You were a leader in other companies. You've taken a look at some things and obviously found your home with Asea, and we're so grateful for the leadership that you've provided. You definitely blazed the trail for that. We're incredibly grateful. So yeah, if you've got some slides you'd like to share, that'd be great.
Okay, appreciate it. Great to be with you today. I have a lot of respect for Bart and Melissa, and I'm very honored to be in business with them again in Asea. And super happy to be on the webinar today. So yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let's see, let me bring up my keynote. There we go. All right. You know what, you guys, I was putting together these slides, of course, before the call, and I got emotional putting them together. So I'm teary-eyed before I even start this. But I always like to introduce my husband, Bob. I'm kind of the one who does most of the talking, but he does a lot of the background work, as many of you know. We live in Idaho. So some people know where that is, but even people in the United States normally don't know where Idaho is. This is a picture of me when I was about, I don't know, 10 or 11. I'm in my brownie outfit. If you're in the United States, most little girls go in the brownies. We sell Girl Scout cookies and things like that. But when I was a young girl, I wanted to grow up, and I wanted to be like my aunt. My aunt was a missionary in Brazil, and I wanted to grow up and do something important like she was doing. And that was my dream. But I grew up, I met a handsome guy named Bob Schwenkler. We got married. We had 3 children. I have a high school education, never had the opportunity to go to college or go to university, never really had a serious job. I married Bob in my early 20s. Bob has an engineering degree from Johns Hopkins University. He earned a good living. We lived in a nice home. And I was grateful that I was able to stay home and take care of my own children myself. But I still had a yearning. And in 1993, I was introduced to network marketing. And when I discovered network marketing, I resonated with the fact that health is your true wealth, as Mahatma Gandhi said. And I knew that through network marketing, I could help people be healthy. And health is the foundation of everything. If you're not healthy, many times you can't work, you can't enjoy your family, etc. I learned about the global censorship of health information and the fact that pharmaceutical companies with their billions of dollars pretty much control governments around the world. And it doesn't matter if you're in Australia or Europe or the United States. The people with the money are the people with the power, and the people with the money are the pharmaceutical companies, and they call the shots. And that's probably why Asea isn't, fully a product in Australia yet, is because of the power of the pharmaceutical companies. But I realized that the only way that people were going to hear about true health breakthroughs was by word of mouth. Because of the laws, you won't hear about true health breakthroughs if they're natural in the New York Times or, the newspapers in Australia or TV. And when I joined network marketing, my main objective was just to be a light to people, to bring light to people's lives, simply to tell the truth about health products that I knew from personal experience could help people and many times transform their lives and even provide miraculous results. I started locally. I was a housewife. I didn't know anybody outside of the United States. I knew very few people outside of Idaho where I live, but I started talking to everyone I knew and everyone I met. One of the people that I talked to at that time was my aunt who lived in New Mexico. It turned out she knew people in California. It turned out they knew people in Sweden and the Philippines. And through the power of networking and network marketing, even in those early years, I began to realize the power of network marketing if you have a great product to be able to really transform lives around the world. So that's how I got started. But a few months later, my husband lost his job. In the United States, when you lose your job, they give you a pink slip, right? And that's when you're downsized, right-sized, capsized. That was the day that we learned that the term job security was an oxymoron. I attended one of my first network marketing meetings, and I learned that network marketing businesses allow us to experience all of the benefits of being an entrepreneur without taking on the risks of a traditional business. Just this morning, I did a webinar with someone in Norway who just purchased a franchise for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know how much that is in Norwegian kroner. She had to get herself in terrible debt to start a business. And what I love about network marketing, especially about Asea, is for just a few $100, US or Australian, you can get started in a business that can expand beyond your wildest dreams. I saw this slide for the first time at one of my first meetings. I'd rather earn 1% of the efforts of 100 people rather than 100% of my own efforts. I'm seeing if I can move these. I don't think I can. You can't see the whole slide, but essentially, by building a team, most people earn from a 40-hour work week, but in network marketing, you can earn from a 40-hour day by leveraging the efforts of other people. Some of you saw this when I came to Australia, but I always like to share the story of my family that I was raised in. I'm standing in the back with glasses. My mom and dad are sitting there with babies on their lap. My parents have 8 children. In this picture, there are 7 of us. My dad went to work at the telephone company every day. When he came home, my mother went to work and she worked as a waitress. She had no marketable skills, similar to me. My parents were always tired. They were always overworked. I took on the responsibilities of taking care of my younger brothers and sisters and cooking and cleaning while my mother was at work. And if my parents got sick or if they took a day off, the income stopped because everything depended on them. So the first time I saw this picture, I said to myself, I love my parents, but I don't want my life to be like theirs. I want to make a difference, and I also want to have more freedom. I want to have a better life for myself, my husband, and my children than my parents had. And so I jumped in and I got started. I knew that I wanted to make a living while making a difference. I didn't really know how. Like I said before, I didn't have any really credibility in the business world or any experience in the business world. Oh, I think I put the wrong slide here, but that's okay. Okay, so where I met Bart and Melissa actually was in this first company that I joined. I stayed with that company for 15 years. My first year, I did a lot of presentations. I told everybody I knew and everybody I met about a wonderful health technology and at that time, a wonderful company. And after 1 year, I wasn't making very much money. I wasn't rich yet. That's when I learned about the 3 stages of network marketing. Then the first stage of network marketing, it's similar to a traditional business where you're investing time, not necessarily a lot of money, but most franchises don't even cash flow for the first 5 years, which is actually what this lady from Norway told me this morning. But I kept working. I kept focused with the help of my amazing sponsor, who Bart knows. That was also his sponsor in our first company. And after my second full year in network marketing, I had replaced my husband's full-time income. He never had to get a regular job again. We had the freedom to both work our home-based business and raise our 3 children together. After 5 years, we became Diamond, which meant that we had a nice 6-figure income. And after 7 years, actually in our 7th year, we became 7-figure earners. In our first company, we became one of the top 10 global earners. But best of all, every dollar that we earned represented people who are having miraculous health experiences, people who are able to earn a part-time income, a full-time income, or even an amazing income like we had. And I love this industry. There's no other industry on earth like network marketing. Bart and Melissa, I don't know if you can move our camera pictures. Oh, I can move them, never mind. Okay, so some of you may have heard this quote. One of the things Bart and Melissa asked me to talk about was some people who have inspired me along the way. One of them is Zig Ziglar, this famous quote that you can get everything you want in life if you just help other people get what they want. And in network marketing, the focus is always on other people, just like Bart and Melissa in this webinar. Their focus is on the people who are advancing in rank, their new directors, their new 700s, their new bronzes, silvers, golds, and even diamonds. That's where our attention is. It's on bringing a breakthrough message to other people that can transform their lives. Now, for some reason, my slide is not advancing, which I have no idea why that is happening. Let's see here. Okay, well, I'll just go here. Okay, so after 15 years, I left that company. I'm not really a business person, but I could just see that the company was trending in the wrong direction. But more than that, I just had a feeling that it wasn't my home anymore, that I could no longer with my whole heart promote that company and those products, primarily because the executives in that company seemed to not be doing things with integrity. They seemed to not be doing things that really helped people and that really helped people in the field. And so I went looking for another company. I have no other skills except network marketing. I have a high school education. I've never had a serious job. At that point, my husband hadn't had a job for 15 years and he was in his 50s. So who was going to hire him? So really our only option was network marketing. And as we all know, there are thousands of network marketing companies worldwide. That year and a half was probably the most painful year of my life. During that year, I almost seriously died of anxiety. If someone could die of anxiety, it would have been me. During that year and a half, I joined 5 different companies. Even though we had earned a lot of money in our previous company, we had invested in a commercial building and with a partner, and we finished the commercial building right after the September, the Twin Towers crashing, and the economy crashed with it. Our partner went bankrupt. We were left with a huge multi-million-dollar mortgage that we had to pay every month. And at that point, we had very, very little income coming in. And I prayed for a company that I could really believe in, that I could once again promote with my whole heart, knowing that I was really blessing people's lives when I told them about that company. So after a year and a half of searching, like I said, joining 5 companies, pretty much ruining my reputation. Probably Bart and Melissa and other people who knew me thought I had absolutely lost my mind. Fortunately, I was introduced to Asea. The day I was introduced to Asea, I was in my car driving around Boise where I live, and I was trying to do cold calls for the network marketing business that I was in at the time. My back was to the wall financially. I knew I had to build a business. My husband is a great support. He does, all the online things, but I'm the person that has to build. I'm the person that has to prospect. I'm the person that has to do, the opportunity meetings. And I sat in my car all day and I cried because I couldn't make myself do it, even though I had to do it. And I just said, you know what? I just said, God, if you want me to be a waitress like my mother, lose everything I've worked so hard for, lose my home, lose my investments, that's fine. I'll be a waitress. I'll live in an apartment, whatever I'm supposed to be, I'll be. And that day I got a text about Asea. And I went online and I started Googling Asea. At that time, there was a website called Discover Asea, very similar to Amazing Molecules. It was the only thing I could find about Asea, and it was by Alan Noble. So Alan and I connected. Alan told me this incredible story of this breakthrough in health, this redox signaling technology, completely different from any other health products that had ever been brought to the world. Not a juice, not a vitamin, not a pill, not an antioxidant, a completely new frontier of science, heavily patented, no competition, no copycats. In today's world, that's virtually impossible to find. And also, he started telling me about the miraculous stories, including his own father. Alan doesn't tell this story very often anymore, but when he found Asea, he was not looking for an opportunity. His father had been diagnosed with a very serious disease that the doctors had recommended chemo for. And his dad started doing the chemo, and the chemo started damaging his lungs. And at that time, Alan's dad was in his early 70s, and he was still windsurfing in Donegal Bay in Ireland. And his dad said, "I'd rather die than drag around an oxygen tank for the rest of my life, and I'm not going to do chemo." So what Alan did is he started looking for something that could help his dad. He had left the network marketing industry. He was tired of Me Too products. He was tired of companies that didn't know what they were doing. He had started his own IT company. So, but he ran across Sue Brunchley, who many of you know, who became Alan's sponsor. He knew her from a former network marketing company. She told him about this redox signaling technology. What Alan did, at that time, Alan lived in the US, but his father lived in Ireland, and he started sending Asea to his dad and telling him to drink 12 ounces a day, which is a third of a bottle. And his dad did that. So in Ireland, you can't just go get a doctor appointment anytime you want to because it's socialized medicine. So his dad had to wait 4 months to get another test to show, you know, about how the disease, I hope I didn't say the bad word, started. But anyway, he went back to the doctor after 4 months, and the condition was completely gone, completely gone. And when that happened, you know, Alan became the biggest believer in Asea ever. It truly saved his father's life. And he started telling me, you know, how this technology had changed his wife's life, how it had changed his father's life. He told me story after story of people who had had miraculous results with Asea. And everything resonated with me. I learned about our founders. I'm sure all of you know the story of how Vertus and Tyler turned down an offer from a pharmaceutical company that would have guaranteed generational wealth. And in Vertus's retirement, he started a network marketing company. Now, I'm fortunate, extremely fortunate, that I was there in the early days. And, you know, I live close to Salt Lake City where I can drive there. It takes me about 5 hours. And so in those early days, we would drive to Salt Lake probably every month. And Vertus would actually do the meetings, and he would tell this story, the true story. And every single time, Vertus would, you know, tears would roll out of his eyes. And I just so admire, and, you know, this man who, you know, at the age, it came out of retirement when he could have just, you know, relaxed and spent time with his family to start a network marketing company. So, you know, as you all know, we have seen tens of thousands of lives change worldwide. In fact, yesterday I just came home from the Global Advisory Council meetings in Salt Lake City, and I should have gotten these numbers together. I think they said there have been 88 million doses of Asea that have been consumed worldwide without a single incidence of an documented adverse reaction. And so many miraculous experiences. I mean, you know, Sep and Jeska have such a compelling, you know, miraculous experience. You know, Danny Doyle, you know, not everyone does. We love this product because it also prevents challenges, and people like Lorene, you know, our new diamond in Australia, you know, great athlete. You know, she's not had maybe these very profound, miraculous changes, but you know, Asea is for everyone. And so I fell in love with the product. I fell in love with the founders, but you know what, you guys, I also fell in love with the financial opportunity, because money's not everything, but it does rank reasonably close to oxygen. And you know what? It's funner to be rich than it is to be poor. And, you know, just the idea that if you have a company that you truly love to the core of your being, at least for me, and I'm sure it's true for all of you too, you know, it's challenging. It's extremely challenging. But we can create the lives of our dreams at the service of others, not at the expense of others, with Asea's financial opportunity. So I wanted to show you this picture. Some of you have probably seen it, but some of you probably haven't. So this is a flow chart, and this is what Tyler Norton taught at one of the early bronze base camps that I went to. So this guy, Mihaly, he's a Czechoslovakian scientist dude, and he did some studies on people, and essentially he divided people into various groups. So you can see, well, let me see if I can move this again. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it better. Okay, so this shows on the left side the challenge level. Okay, so at the bottom is a low challenge level, and if you have a low challenge level, your life is full of apathy. Now, if you have a high challenge level, your life is full of anxiety, right? Which is where I was when I found Asea. I tend to be a pretty anxious person anyway. I mean, I would get over the top, like screaming, crying for hours, anxiety. And then on the bottom, you can see when your skill level is low, again, you're in apathy, but when your skill level is high, you're more relaxed. But anyway, the point where you want to be, I'm sure you don't have like a pointer or something, where you want to be is in flow, okay? Up in the yellow there. That's when the challenge level is high, but your skill level is also high. And the studies that this guy did showed that people are actually the happiest when their challenge level is high, but when their skill level is also high. And I put this chart on the front of my Asea Daytimer. I carry it everywhere with me for a couple of reasons. One thing I did in my early Asea days, well, I would say really the first 3 years, every single day, I would realize that the challenge level was high, but I didn't consider my skill level super high, but I made a commitment that every day that I would work on increasing my skill level. And I told myself, you have the skills you need, you know, to get into flow, to get out of anxiety and into flow. And I think, you know, by doing that, I probably created some like, what do you call it? Energy, metaphysical, and like kind of a metaphysical energy wake around myself, because you know, it is about what you do, but it's also about the vibration you put out. And so I kind of forced myself to be into flow every day, to get out of anxiety, to get out of worry. And you know, it's kind of interesting now because I almost have the opposite challenge. I almost have to stay out of apathy, because it's like well, I don't think I'll go there, but anyway, it's well, let's say I almost could be in relaxation. Let's put it that way. I almost could be more in relaxation. And so I kind of have to challenge myself every day to stay in flow, you know, keep working on my skills, and for various reasons to keep my challenge level high. So anyway, I just thought that might be helpful to some of you. This flow chart probably saved my life, as far as in many different ways. This is one of my favorite quotes. Hope is the foundational quality of all change, and encouragement is the fuel which keeps our hope alive. I love this quote by Zig Ziglar, because truly it is the hope that we all have, that we can change lives with Asea. You know, we can change people's lives with our products. We can change people's lives with our comp plan. We can change people's lives with our mission and our purpose. And that this truly is the fuel, the hope that we have and that we can bring to other people. So when I found Asea, it really was like a new day for me in many ways. What's his name? The guy that wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. He says, if you want to be successful in any business, you have to transform yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that's why we always say that network marketing is not just a transactional business, because of course it is. We get commission checks, we have to place orders and stuff like that. But more than anything, network marketing is a transformational business. And I'm going to tell you this, and probably some of you experienced this too. Network marketing is a transformational business, but Asea is a transformational business. The products transform our health. And again, I've been very fortunate that I've been able to spend quite more time than most people in the early days around our founders, but lately around the people who run Asea now. You know, our CEO. Well, I'll talk about them in a minute. I have a picture for of them, but I wanted to show you this. One of the questions that I don't know if it was Bart or Melissa sent me is, you know, what were my goals when I started Asea? Now, this is an actual thing that I typed out in my early weeks, and I still carry it in my day timer. And I don't look at it every day, but I think just the energy of it, because I carry my day timer everywhere I go. So I'm just going to read it to you, that my why, my passion, I wake up every day and celebrate my mission to make my life and other people's lives better. I celebrate the fact that I get to empower people to improve their health at a core level. I love meeting new people, building relationships, building teams. I love being where the action is, where the energy is high. I love the transformational aspect of network marketing. I like to challenge myself every day to create new things. I love letting the spirit work through me to transform my life and the lives of others. I love the reality of residual reproductive income. I love becoming. So this is a quote: combine authenticity with your empathy for others, and you have found the genius of being humble. So my 90-day goal was to become a gold executive. Now, I had zero spillover. To this day, no one has placed a single person in my downline ever. So Alan Noble is a great sponsor, but my team grew very fast and he had to put all his people on his other side. So I completely built both of my own binary legs. And the reason I have a check mark by these is I accomplished all of these within the time frame that I set. My 6-month goal was to be a diamond. My 12-month goal was to enjoy a $15,000 to $40,000 a month monthly income. I am in flow. I am happy. I have fun. I follow the yellow brick road. I am guided by the spirit. I work hard, but I let things flow. I follow my own internal rhythms. I listen to my own intuition and common sense. And then my 24-month goal is that I would be a triple diamond. Now, I was taught that when you write a goal, the date is just a guess. You can't control the date. All you can do is control the energy and the work that you put into it. I always say that overnight success is usually the result of 20 years of hard work, and that was certainly the case with me when I came to Asea. I had 16 and a half years of network marketing experience and contacts and things like that. But I think, to me, the fact that I did accomplish all of these in a time frame that I wrote down is kind of a testament to that. I did find myself, I did find a way to put myself in flow every day. And then, you know, Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, he says you should never, you know, make a goal sheet about what you want to get until you've made a list of what you're willing to give, because there is no something for nothing. So to this day, I have, this is on a big poster board. It's above my bed where I look at it every night. So what do I give? I give the best leadership I can for myself and for all of Asea. Gratefulness and optimism. I give of myself and get out of my comfort zone every day. I go the extra mile in prospecting and follow up. I tithe time and money. I give as many hours per day as possible to Asea while still keeping in balance. So the two necessary ingredients to build a network marketing business are personal growth activities, learning how to keep in flow, learning how to transform yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I could talk about those for another hour or two, as well as results-oriented business activities, which is, you know, prospecting, doing meetings. You know, Danny Doyle is the famous meeting guy. I mean, he's always, you know, doing meetings here, there, and everywhere. So, I mean, the bottom line is that with Asea, I mean, my childhood dream started as a little dream in my heart. I never knew where it would lead me, but where it has led me is to Asea. And, you know, maybe I shouldn't say this, and I don't hardly ever say it, but I'm kind of in a weird mood today. And I don't mean this in a boasting way, but I don't think Asea would be here if I had not joined Asea. You know, it may have, but, you know, the team, I mean, I won't say that I've built it. I've found some leaders who have built teams, who have found leaders who have built teams, who have found leaders to build teams. But without this team, Asea would not exist. So I want to thank each one of you. I want to thank Bart and Melissa and, you know, all the other great leaders, Sepp and Jeska, and, you know, all of you who are on here today, because without all of us, Asea would not be here. And so Asea can be the happiest, the healthiest, the most fulfilling, and the most prosperous time of your life. You know, some of the great things you can experience, of course, are our diamond trips where we go to exotic locations. But of course, you guys live in an exotic location. Asea has given us reward trips where, you know, when you're an ambassador and presidential, they give you this exorbitant amount of money that you can use any way that you want. And, you know, typically what we do is we take our family on trips. In fact, we're going to bring our whole family to Panama this year, including my daughter. My youngest daughter is 30 years old, and today she was texting me engagement rings. So it looks like my youngest daughter is finally going to get married. The other two are not married yet, so that's kind of exciting. Asea also has a Premier Reward program. I'm a big boater, and we were planning to buy this boat, and right after we bought it, Asea introduced the Premier Reward program, where they actually, you know, paid for this boat for us. Sometimes I hesitate to talk about these things because they seem out of reach for people. But I remember when I was new to network marketing, Bart, and I went to Spokane, Washington, where your and my sponsor lived, and I sat in his gold Mercedes, and I dreamed that someday I would have a gold Mercedes. It seemed really far away. But you know what? You dream those dreams, and they really can come true. So again, money's not everything, but it does rank reasonably close to oxygen. It makes life a lot funner. You can give more, you can have more, you can do more. It doesn't matter if you're a housewife or a doctor or whoever you are. Asea is changing the world one cell at a time. I wanted to just, I know I'm probably going too long, but before I leave you, I wanted to talk a little bit about the recent advisory council meetings that I was just at this week. Now, this is a picture of our new, trying to move these video pictures again, of our new facility that Asea is building in Pleasant Grove. We were the first associates to ever take a tour of this building. It's almost finished. Now, Asea has spent over $1 million, of course, on this facility. They also, a couple of years ago, they built a new production facility. Asea has invested over $1 million in our new IT framework. Asea also has invested over $1 million in this study that they are going to be introducing at convention. And they've also spent over $1 million so far in Asian investment. Now, at this meeting that I was just at, our president and our CEO, who I love, they said, now, you have to understand, we did not invest in our infrastructure, our research, and our global expansion unless we are planning on being here for the next 20 to 30 years, unless we are planning for massive global expansion. So this is not talk, you guys. This is not hype. You know, this is the real deal. I sat at those meetings the last few days with these guys. Now, Tyler wasn't at the meeting. Sometimes he is. But I want to tell you this. You know, you may not have the chance to spend as much time with these guys as I do because I live close to Salt Lake and you know, I get to be on the advisory council and stuff. But I'm going to tell you what. Like, I just sit there and I watch these guys talk. So number one, they're so smart. They're so strategic. They're building Asea to be a legacy company. Number two, they are always polite. They are always humble. They are always respectful to everyone, whether they have anything to gain from that person or not. I've learned so much from Chuck Funky and Jerem Webb, Justin Wilson, Tyler Norton, about just the power of a kind word. Just, you know, the importance of being kind to everyone, whether they can help you or not. You know, I'm not saying that I'm a genius at it like they are, but the idea of treating everyone with respect. And these guys live that. I see them live that in the way that they treat everyone. And this is my own personal belief, is that when you have a company like this, where you have honest, hardworking people, I mean, these guys put in incredible hours to build this foundation of security for us, you know, that we can depend on for the rest of our working years. Like, I think that this has to attract some type of like divine blessing or divine goodness on this company that brings good things, that attracts good things to Asea and to the people who align themselves with Asea. And I mean, I just sat there at advisory council and the tears flowed out of my eyes. I am so grateful. You know, so grateful that I was brought to this company and that I know these people and that I know all of you. And just this incredible, you know, mission that we're on, but wow, we can also, you know, create this legacy, you know, the lifestyle that we really always only dreamed that we could have. And yeah, it's not easy. I mean, you know, after 24 years in network marketing, I finally feel like I'm kind of starting to arrive. But you know, Asea's mission really is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. And Asea's vision really is to become the recognized global leader in cellular health and redox-based technologies and achieve worldwide distribution of our life-changing products, our life-changing financial opportunity, and our life-changing culture. And so I am proud and grateful to be a part of this company. And I'll hand it back to you, Bart. Now, I hope that was not too long of a slideshow.
Trish, I got to tell you, that was one of the most fantastic presentations I've ever seen. And I'm sitting here with tears welling up in my eyes. And I just want to tell you that we have such huge amount of respect and kudos just for what you've done, who you are. And I got to tell you, you know, one of my biggest mentors has always been Tony Robbins. And I remember years ago, he says, if you want to be successful, you model or you duplicate the most successful people that are out there. And so the thing I just want to acknowledge is that you've kind of showed us, you've given us a chance to be a fly on the wall. And I hope that everybody really grasped that, to see what you did, the decisions that you made, how you worked on getting into flow. And I loved how you presented that. So I got to tell you, that's the easiest interview I've ever done.
Yeah, I kind of got a little bit of flow there, but thank you.
Oh, it was really, really good. And yeah, we're just so grateful for the for the trail that you've blazed and the decisions that you made. And it's remarkable to see what you've been able to create just by making that decision. And you know what? Every single person on this call has the ability to do that. And we've got we really acknowledge you for what you've been able to do and put together. I mean, you've heard so many product stories too. I just thought there's one. Someone mentioned at the cruise that there was someone on the cruise that wouldn't have even have been able to be on the cruise. Maybe just share that, or maybe that product experience, just so people have an idea of the power of what these products can do.
You know what? I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go to Facebook because I want to show you this picture of this this person. Let me bring up Facebook here. So yeah, when I was on a cruise, I met this young girl. She's 23 years old. Now her mom is gold in Sissel Anderson's organization in Norway, and so I knew her mom, Britt. Let's see. I hope she has some pictures of her daughter here. Anyway, here's Britt. I knew Britt, but she brought her daughter on the cruise, her 23-year-old daughter. And oh, I don't know if I can find a picture of her daughter. Anyway, her daughter is gorgeous. Just a beautiful, beautiful. I'll stop to share. I don't think I can find her. But anyway, her daughter is this beautiful, beautiful 23-year-old, perfect figure Norwegian girl. So she speaks pretty good English, not perfect English, which is great because I speak like no Norwegian. And on the cruise, she told me how before Asea, this beautiful girl was diagnosed with some type of autoimmune issue that she had to walk with 2 canes. Her mother had to turn her over in bed at night. She couldn't have a job. And for 3 years, she was taking all kinds of drugs and all kinds of pills, and it was just making her worse. And this is the interesting thing. Her mother did not get into Asea because of her daughter's experience. Her mother got into Asea because she understood the science and she was impressed by it. And it wasn't until weeks later, after she made a commitment to be in Asea, started building the business, that her daughter started using the product and had this incredible transformation. But hearing this story on the cruise just moved me so much. And I just thought to myself, if I never did anything in Asea or network marketing except for change this one girl's life, everything would have been worth it. And the beauty is that we get to see things like this every day. So yeah, that was one of my favorite stories ever. And then Britt and her daughter, Juliana, her daughter's name is Juliana. They had never been snorkeling before. They had never been on a cruise before. And they weren't going to go snorkeling. I was talking about snorkeling and they said, well, that's too expensive. We're just going to, when the cruise stops, we're just going to get off and walk around the town. And I told my husband, I said, we are going to take these people on a snorkeling trip. And we did. And they had never seen, the fish before. They had never snorkeled before. And it was just such an amazing experience to have, the financial ability. Hey, if you want to take someone on a snorkel trip, you can, So yeah, it was super great.
Thank you for joining us on this call. I really hope there were so many gold nuggets that you shared with us, and a brilliant presentation. So thank you again for joining us. Certainly welcome to stay on the rest of the calls. We're going to launch some new tool that Melissa put some work in. Or if you need to leave,
to see what it is, I'll be on. Thank you for inviting me. Great to see everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Trish.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bart.
much, Trish. I just wanted to add as well, when you are a partner with very successful people who have a long track record in the industry, it's no less of a role. So what Bob does for us, we just want to say, please pass on a thank you to him, because with what he's been able to do to help support you and create in your business, I just really want to honor and acknowledge him for that, because you wouldn't be where you are without him. So although we didn't chat with him today, we just wanted to make sure that everyone really knows and appreciates what Bob does. He's a very humble man. He doesn't shout from the rafters about anything, but he's absolutely brilliant, and we're eternally grateful. So thank you very much, Trish, and please say thank you to Bob from us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you.
Thanks.